Hey guys! This is the third video I'm making this afternoon, but third video of the week for you guys because I'm staggering them. Still smoking my Brebbia Pura 943 with some Newminster Norway pipe cup. I am just on a video making roll today. And so this video is going to be a little bit of a nod to Brick and Mortars. And, well, I say nod, but they do good things, and they try. I'll put they try very hard in my area. So, where I am in Montana is Bozeman, Montana. There are 3 tobacconists that I can think of. One here in Bozeman, one in Billings, and one in Missoula. So, I will start with the one in Bozeman. Now, the one in Bozeman is called Poor Richards. So, Poor Richards. They were a long-time established downtown business that was an old, I will say old codger type tobacconist and newsstand. And unfortunately, because of rising rent prices, their original location, they decided to close. And because rent just went up and up and up, and other places wanted to be in there because it was prime location, and so they went out of business in their original location. Now, there are some owners of a head shop called Cold Smoke Tobacco. And Cold Smoke Tobacco decided they were going to build a new building, actually, or lease a new space, rather. And they bought the Poor Richards name from the person that held it. And so Poor Richards is alive again. They have some pipes and tobacco and a actually walk-in humidor. And they do an okay job. The bulk blends they have are from Peter Sotheby and Cornell and Deal, and there's McClelland. They have a few McClelland blends too. And that's what they primarily sell, is those bulk blends. They have a few tins. It's not a very wide selection of tins, but they have a few. And then they also sell pipes from HIS and some Savinellis. And that's as far as their pipe line goes. And then they also have a walk-in humidor, which is a fairly good size, and they carry, I would say, probably 100 different cigars, which is good for this size of market that this is. And of course, me being a pipe smoker wishes that they would do a little bit more on the pipe end of things. But one of the guys there, his name is Bishop. He's absolutely wonderful. Knows his stuff about pipes and cigars and tobacco in general. So it can be good. The tins are a little bit overpriced, and seen as what they primarily sell for bulk blends is aromatics. I don't frequent their a whole super amount, not gonna lie. Next up, let's go north. Let's go to Missoula. Now, in Missoula, the pipe and tobacco store there is called The Bell. The Bell has been around since the 1960s. It's now on its 3rd owner, just due to people retiring. The Bell's pipe selection I have issues with because they don't like to label what any of their pipes are, like, clearly, so you can't look in the case and say, oh, hey, that's a Savinelli, that's a Peterson, that's a Nordine, whatever. It just makes it very hard. And I have issues with that. They stock a few tins from McClelland and McBaron, as well as your over-the-counter, some over-the-counter blends like Granger and Half and Half. They have bulk blends that are pre-packaged that are all either McClelland aromatics or Lane aromatics that they label as being something of their own. Another thing I have great issue with, it's not your own blend. Don't say it is. There is no shame in saying, well, this blend is from Lane, or this blend is from McClelland, or this is a McBaron. There's no shame in that. There really isn't. It just upsets me that they decide to say, no, it's our blend. It's our blend because we give it a different name. And having something clearly labeled as 1Q or BCA and then saying it's your own blend, in my opinion, is straight out lying. I don't like it. Stop it. Their humidor, though, they claim to have the largest humidor in the state of Montana, which, from the looks of it, is true. It's a rather large humidor, and it is fully stocked. So obviously, you know, us as pipe smokers know that the cigar market is much larger than the pipe market. I get it. I understand it. It's just the way it is. I just feel the couple of times I've gotten in there, I feel like they just don't care about the pipe ends of things. Like, at all. And I think I'm almost at the end of the bowl here. Anyway. So, now let's come back from the north, back through Bozeman, and to the east, to Billings. Billings tobacconist is called Stogie's. I like Stogie's a lot. I've actually found some Germain's blends there that are very hard to get. They actually try to keep Esoterica blends in stock when they can get a hold of them. They sell 2 brands of pipes, primarily Savinelli, and then also a local pipe maker. Well, it's a duo of guys. They call themselves the Occasional Pipe Company, and they stock things from them as well, usually 2 or 3 pipes from them. They have Cornell and Deal tins. They have GLP's tins, which, yes, I know, there's blended by the same people, Cornell and Deal. They actually have lots of different tins in there. They have a pretty good selection of tins. They have their own house blends that aren't blended by them, but I believe it's C&D that blends them for them, which are primarily aromatics, and I get that a lot of people like to smoke those. That's fine, nothing wrong with that. They also sell bulk McClelland stuff that's pre-packaged, and they are very upfront with you where it comes from, and that, hey, this is not our blend, this is McClelland's, and these blends are formulated by us but blended by Cornell and Deal. You know, they're very, very upfront about that. They also have a newsstand, and they have about the same size humidor as Poor Richard's. And the gentleman in there that's been in there on the occasions that I've been there is extremely nice, very personable, loves talking about you, clearly loves working at Stogie's. He is not the owner. But, oh, and they also have a really good selection of accessories, you know, from pipe lighters and cigar lighters and ashtrays and butane and all the different stuff. And it's actually a really nice shop. And I love going in there every time I'm in Billings because of it. So, you know, we in Montana, I don't know if there's any in Great Falls. I'm never really up in Great Falls that much. I don't like going to Great Falls. It's boring. Shh, don't tell Great Falls. But they're boring. Anyways, but we clearly have an example of, you know, great, good, and yeah, you need improvement as far as pipe stuff goes. You know, and really, to me, the defining factor of what makes a tobacconist good is the people. And that goes for so many businesses. As a lot of you know, I'm also a home brewer. And in the brewing community, breweries are often not afraid to release their recipes. Because there is something about a brewery that cannot be replicated. And because it's easy, anybody can go grab the grains for a brewery and have the exact grains. And anybody can find out what the water profile is for that town. And anybody can grab the same hops and anybody can grab the same yeast. But what you can't grab is the people and the process they take, or in the process they have. And that makes a business special, is their people. And I know Poor Richard's doesn't have everything I want, obviously. But Bishop is wonderful. He's actually the only one I know the name of there. And you know, the other guys that are there are absolutely wonderful. And that's what makes me want to go in there, even though I know they might not have what I'm looking for, is the people. And I think that's where Brick and Mortars can really excel, in addition to their having a proprietary blend, is their people. Treat people right. Treat your customers right. I'm not saying that the customer is always right, because me being in this in customer relations like I am and doing sales, there are times when very much the customer is wrong. You know, I do construction sales, and the customer could be wanting to do something that's against code. Obviously, I'm not going to sell them something that would be against code for where they're building or what they're building. But, you know, treating customers right, treating them with respect and dignity, even if they're wrong, and not being an asshole. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is don't be an asshole to your customers. Make them want to come see you again, even if they know you might not have it. There are some specialized things that I in my industry that I just don't have, because even though I have a lot of things, it's very, very specific, and I'm not going to have it. But people come to me first to see if I have it, because I know I'm going to treat them right, and even if I don't have it, I'm going to point them to where they can get it. And that's what really makes a brick and mortar tobacconist special, is their people. More so than anything else, is their people. And I really think that is how they're going to continue to exist, is because they're people. I myself, wanting to open a tobacconist and stroke / homebrew store, I know I'm going to have to be very knowledgeable, and I'm going to have to be very personable. And I can't treat people like they're idiots. It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to me. And going into a place where, you know, I would expect them to be able to find an answer. I don't expect people to know everything, but if they don't know, I expect them to go, hey, let me find out. I'm going to find out for you personally, because you matter, because you are my customer. And getting the slough off is not good at all. Nobody likes it. And I'm not saying that online retailers don't take care of their customers. They very much do. There are a lot of them that are very present to their customers and want to see their customers satisfied. If we take for a good example of that, one of our very own YTPC members, Eddie Gray, with the Pipe Nook. He is an absolutely wonderful retailer because he wants to see his customers happy above all else. And that makes him a great retailer. SmokingPipes.com, same way. They love seeing their customers happy. They love interacting with their customers. And for a while here, it was looking like Pipes and Cigars was going to go, kind of bleh, because of the whole International Pipe Smoking Day debacle. But in my opinion, they have more than compensated for it, and earned my trust back. Even though I wasn't affected by it, but certainly earned my trust back in how they dealt with the situation. And so that's really what's coming back to the point. Is what's really going to save Brick and Mortars and keep them around is how well they treat their customers. Above all else, how well they treat their customers. And yeah, it just really depends on who goes the extra mile, and that's what's going to save them. If you have a brick and mortar that doesn't give a damn and just goes, you know what, they're going to buy it anyways if I just put it on the shelf. No, they won't. Not anymore. I can bring up my phone and I can bring up smokingpipes.com right now and order it. I'm coming to you because I like you. Plain and simple. I probably won't be going back to the Bell in a very long time. Sorry. It's this way it is. But will I be going back to Port Richards and Stogies? Yeah. Yeah, I will. You can bet on it. So with that, until I see you again, be kind and good to each other.